Alright, bro, today we need to talk about this topic. Islam needs to fight Ilia, like right now. I know the urgency sounds kinda wrong, kinda like childish, but listen to me for a second. I am an Islam fan guy, but he needs to fight Ilia, and here's the reason, man. Ilia is just too good. Yes, he is. He's like better than every top lightweight. And I believe he can defeat all of them. And by defeat, I mean knockout, like finish them. And there's a high chance that he might finish Islam also by submission or by knockout. Doesn't matter. But even after that, if Islam has a chance of winning, it is right now. It is right now. And let me explain why. Islam is already 33 years of age right now. And Ilia is 27. So I don't know, but I believe Islam will just decline in his physical capabilities in next 1 year or two. And Ilia will just keep on climbing, both technically and in physical prowess. So the later he fights Ilia, the more chances of him losing to Ilia. He needs to fight Ilia early and hopefully this year. And yes, Islam has the skills. And in the grappling, I believe he is better than Ilia. But we haven't seen Ilia grapple that much, so we don't know. Also, he's a short guy, and it is always harder to wrestle or grapple a short guy. We saw it Islam with Volkanovski, and we will see it, I believe, with Ilia. Now, also, there's a condition. If Islam fights Ilia in 155, he needs to fight in these years. But if, let's say, the fight happens in 170 welterweight, then I don't think it necessarily has to happen this year for Islam to win. Because I believe in 170, Islam is just too big, man. He's just too big. At that weight, I believe Islam will be walking around 190, 200 pounds. So it's just too big. It's just too big. Reportedly, Ilia walks around 185. So 15 pounds is a big difference, man. So yeah, in if the fight happens in 170, okay, Islam has a few years. But I still hope that Islam fights Ilia in 155 right now, because let's say the fight never happens. Then there will always be question 5 years later, 2 years later, 6 years, 7 years later, when Islam will retire, there will always be a question like he never fought Ilia. And I believe by that time Ilia will be a top dog in the division, man. Whatever division he chooses to compete in, he will be the top dog. And that will raise question on Islam's greatness or Islam's legitimacy as the greatest lightweight. And even if the fight happens right now, man, I'm telling you, Ilia just pulled the biggest upset of the decade. Like he might just knock the hell out of Islam. It is not like they have like huge skill differences. There's a skill difference. I believe Islam has better skills both in grappling and striking. But I'm telling you guys, any guy, any boxer, any fighter who has that ridiculous power, who can generate ridiculous power, skill just doesn't seem to matter to them. You know, they just breeze through like 1 or 2 rounds. They'll be outside, getting hit and maybe leg kicked or something like that. But when they get the chance, especially Ilya, when he will get the chance and he lands that overhand or that left hook, it will just it will be just massacre, man. I don't think Islam will be able to take that shot, that overhand specifically, and that's because Islam's only loss, and I believe that knockout, it came from a right overhand or left overhand, even though that was a long time ago. But there's a pattern. Like I believe if someone can get hit by a certain type of punch, he can get hit by the same punch 5 years later or 6 years later. That is what we saw in that Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman fight. He got hit by the same right straight a few years back when he was in regional scene or something like that. So that's a big problem. And yeah, guys, I know all of this might be just overhyping Ilya, and maybe he will just come out to be a fraud. Like Islam might knock him out in first 1 or 2 rounds, but I believe that is very unlikely. And I believe Ilya will perform really great against Islam. So That's the reason I believe Islam has only two options if he wants to win against Ilia. First, he fights Ilia in 155 in this calendar year, like 2025, and cook him like just like Floyd did to Canelo, like cook him when they are young. So like that, or maybe wait 1 or 2 years, go up to 170, capture the belt, and maybe in 2027 or somewhere around there, fight Ilya in 170. But I don't know, man. The second option doesn't have that much chance of happening. But yeah, can you believe? Like, can you believe Ilya moving up to 170 and maybe winning against Islam? That would be crazy, man. That would be crazy. Yeah, featherweight going up to welterweight and defeating arguably the greatest fighter in this generation. Like, that would be crazy. Not even a featherweight. Ilya fought in bantamweight, back in those days. But yeah, that would be crazy. So yeah, guys, Islam needs to fight Ilya right now and take the victory home. That's all. Ilya out.